Hello, my name is Greg Ruda, and I'm going to teach you a guitar lesson today on soloing. A lot of times beginning guitar players, learn chords and they learn the notes and everything, and then they can't solo, and that's sort of, a very important feature of guitar playing, and it's really, annoying when you're learning to play and you can't, solo like Hendrix or Page, or, you're obviously not going to be as good as them. I am not today, but, you want to sort of do something like that, at your own level. You want to be able to go up there and wow the audience with your skills. So personally, I had a struggle with this. I switched guitar teachers, and I came across this bluesy guitar teacher who gave me some, licks that I think, made the foundation for my soloing, and I think were really helpful. So I wanted to share them with, the viewers to help, beginner, intermediate guitar players speed up their process in learning how to solo. It's a really hard process, and I can't tell you exactly what to do, but I think if you practice these licks, it'll give you a foundation for you to build on with, other licks you'll find online, or, licks you improvised. So I'm going to solo for a little, and then go over the pentatonic scale, and then start teaching you some of the, licks. Okay, so, that was a bluesy solo. I wasn't shredding or anything, which one day you might get into. But, I was just classic rock, bluesy, kind of solo right there. So, first of all, what I used pretty much was the pentatonic scale. I'm sure some of you know it, and if you don't, it's sort of the scale that, most rock artists use. Many use the blues scale, which is an added few notes. I'm going to go over that in future lessons, but for today, I'm just going to go over the pentatonic. So, it starts, okay, so the A minor pentatonic, which I just used, it starts on the E string, low string, on the 5th fret, then you go to the 8th fret, so that those two notes, then you go 5 on the A string, 7, then 5 on the D, then 7 on the D, and then 5 on the G, 7 on the G, then 5 on the B, then 8 on the B, and 5 on the E, and then 8 on the high E. There are some variations to this, but this is all you really need to know for now. So, just practice that, go up and down maybe. So just get familiar with that, I would say at first just go up and down until you can do that at that rate. And, some soloing even would be just going up and down. That, I finished off my little solo a couple of minutes ago with that. But now I want to teach you some of these licks that I've been talking about. So the first one is one of the most famous in rock, and it starts on the G string on the 7th fret, and you bend a whole step up, and then you go on the B string to the 5th fret, and then 5th fret on the E. So, and then another common thing is adding a few notes to that, where you go. I was doing that before, and it's sort of a repeating lick that a lot of these guitarists use. Jimmy Page on Communication Breakdown starts with something like this, but using the E minor pentatonic. So how you play it is what I showed you before. 7 on G, bend, and then 5 on B, and 5 on E. And then, so you do that, and all you do then is you just pull off on 8 to 5 on B. So you go, so it's 8 on B, and pull off to 5. Alright, so that's a very important one, and you can sort of mix between... And then, you know, you can go back and forth between those two, and then you could even do something I was doing before, which sounds pretty cool, where you go... And that's simply, you put your pointer finger on the 5th fret on B and E, and you go, and then you put your pinky on the 8th on the high E, and you go, you pull off, and then you hit the 5th on the B, so you go. So that's E, you strum E, and then you strum B, so you go. And then you put your ring finger on the 7th fret on the high E string, and then you go. And that's another sort of repeating lick. Another thing simply that I like to do, just bending. So you could start with your ring finger on the 7th fret on the G string, and you just bend up. So you bend, you go down, and you pull off to the 5th fret on the G string, and then you pull off again. And another thing that I did, which is, you know, maybe a little harder, but something you could work up to, is you put your ring finger on the 7th fret on the D string, and you go. You know, it's hard to do, and, you know, for beginners, you might sort of get out of pitch on the second part, because it's, you know, you are sort of, you're not exactly in tune, so to speak, but you put your ring finger on the 7th fret on the D, and then you put your pointer on the G and B string at the 5th fret, and you sort of bend it up, and just move your hand, sort of, and you go. I like that one a lot. And then, you know, what I was saying before, you can just sort of go down the scale to finish it off like I do. So you can just go down the scale by 3s, and then go. So putting, you know, maybe everything you did. So, you know, that's just something you could start with. You know, it's sort of, you know, an intermediate level soloing, but, you know, it sounds good to work on, you know, a lot of songs. If you do, you know, classic rock covers with your band, you can just solo like that over whatever, or you could learn that solo, and of the real song, you know, the actual solos. And I think that's important, you know, to add, you know, licks from, you know, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Clapton, Hendrix, you know, all those, you know, you can learn different licks to add to your arsenal. And by expanding, you know, your arsenal, you're going to, you know, slowly be able, you know, you're going to be doing it in your sleep. It's going to become easy. You're just going to combine them, and it's going to hit you. And you're going to be able to just go on stage and just go. You know, and that's right there. You know, that's a little minor scale stuff we're getting into. So, you know, in the future lessons I'll go over that. But for now, just practice the, you know, the bluesy, you know, basic. So practice those, you know, put them together, make mini solos, and just keep, you know, listening to other songs, getting licks, combining it with that, and I think the solo process will become much easier. It's hard. I was there. Everyone was there. Clapton was there. But, you know, you just power through it, and eventually it's going to hit you, and it's going to become natural. You know, that's not really hard for me to do. You know, there's some other harder stuff that we'll get to eventually, but just work on that, and thank you for watching.